Hey everyone, this is Lisa and Nancy with Big Blend Radio, and we are in the Parlor area of the Lafayette-Inn, which is right next to the Lafayette College here in Easton-Pennsylvania. Easton-Pennsylvania is super historic. It is charming. It is beautiful. Naturally, yet at the same time, you have the Industrial Revolution. You've got Revolutionary War history, Civil War history, and you have to come to this awesome inn, the Lafayette-Inn. And we were sitting with Paul, and we've also got Laura Di Liello. Now, did I get your last name right?
Yes, you did.
Oh, yay. See, the wine worked, right? But listen, this is beautiful. Is this the Parlor, Laura?
It is the Parlor, yes. And it's actually one of the more original rooms. A lot of the crown molding, the flooring, the mantelpiece are all original. The house was built in 1895. So this room is probably still the most original features of anywhere in the house.
Wow. And you've got, what, is it 18 rooms?
18 rooms.
Wow. Because I went through, I think, almost all of them today. I'm like, each one is uniquely different, and what's beautiful, yet at the same time has the same style, right?
Right. And we're trying to match the outside of the building. So although we have very modern bathrooms and modern breakfasts and things, but
internet.
And internet.
And you can charge your phone and all that good stuff that you want, and TV and all that.
But the decor tries to be, sort of an historic feeling.
Wine time again.
I know. It's very elegant.
Thank you.
It really is. It's very comfortable and it's elegant, which is not an easy thing to do.
Yeah. And I think this has got to be the biggest B&B we've stayed in.
Yes, number of rooms, yeah, for sure. Right.
And at the same time, you have this incredible walkway. Now you have that covering as you walk in. Is that because you get snow in the winter?
We do get snow, but it's not terrible. It's probably a little more.
It hasn't been terrible in the last couple of years, but we've had years where we've had 30 inches in one snowfall. So,
wow. See,
and once,
that's fun, though,
but
right?
luckily, those days are over. We hope.
Well, okay, so now let's talk about you guys moving here, because this, the building itself, late 1800s was not built as an inn or a hotel,
right?
But it eventually got to there. But before we get into that origin, what was your draw to Easton?
Well, we started by looking for an inn more than we were looking for Easton. So we were working with a broker who helps people find inns for sale, and we were looking for something, maybe not this large, but larger, something that would be a full-time job for both of us. And then we happened upon this place, and the minute we got to Easton, we fell in love with Easton itself too. So it just ended up being a perfect match.
Is it the history for Easton, or the natural beauty, or the art scene, or just the youthfulness?
A little bit of everything. The food scene is incredible. There's so many good restaurants. There's a lot of, Paul is originally from Italy. There's a lot of Italian.
Like straight from Italy.
Straight from Italy.
Oh, wow. Cool. Okay, so you used to like everybody kind of living close.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that makes you feel at home a little bit?
Right.
Okay, wow.
And it's a walkable city, so that drew us here. And the arts would be between the State Theater that's here in town and the college, drawing a lot of great artists and performers. It just felt right.
Now, are you going to be picky about the pizza here?
I am always picky about the pizza.
Because I've seen a lot of pizza.
No matter what. I mean, I'm not picky where I won't eat it, but I just know that it's not the authentic Neapolitan style.
Okay, so that means it's going to be a thinner crust?
The pizza from Napoli, yes, it is. It's a thinner crust, and it's always cooked in a wood-burning oven.
Cool.
So, and the fresh mozzarella straight from the Napoli area, with the olive oil from there and the tomatoes from there. So it's completely different flavors.
We just had a mozzarella making class. And I didn't know that, you can just make it yourself it's not that hard.
I had no idea.
But actually something I did to it, I don't know what I did, but it turned into ricotta. But when they said use that, mine was more like ricotta.
Sound like me every time she does them. I am.
It tasted good though.
Well, the way from the mozzarella is usually how you make ricotta. So you were a step ahead of yourself.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, I like this. I like
Just
this
a little
now.
slow or ahead.
Okay.
Whichever way you want to look at it.
Hey. So the bill. No, okay. Well, let me step back again. So, like for you, what was it for you wanting to go into an inn, Laura?
Well, we both are electrical engineers, and we
Really?
were working in the automotive industry.
Wow.
And like a lot of people in corporate jobs, you can get burnout. It can wear you down. You feel like you're not getting anywhere. So we were looking for something to do together to own our own business. Paul had always wanted to own a restaurant, which I thought was maybe a little too stressful. So I like to bake and make breakfast.
Yeah,
so we started.
and everybody's scone recipe coming up, and delicious breakfast.
Oh, it's very
by the way.
good.
Thank you.
It's really yummy.
So we kind of landed on an inn as a place where we can live and work together and own our own business, and here we are.
Now, Paul, are you enjoying it?
We are, yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so now the car thing, now I'm going to go to the car thing because as far as I know, Italy makes really good cars.
They do.
Yes, they do.
Ah, okay. Because I was saying that if we lived here, I'd want a smaller car. Because I'm used to the big open
Right.
West. And then
Yes.
coming here, I'm like, you have to learn how to parallel park.
Yes. Well, we have one
I
little
can do
car
it.
that we take downtown, and a bigger car when we're going shopping. So
Yeah, so it
we have
is
all the
about having
bases
a little
covered.
one.
It is.
But the downtown here it is a city, for sure.
Right.
But it's not like a giant city.
Right.
No.
It's
Right.
you can navigate it pretty
Absolutely.
easy. You've got your one-way streets, but once you get that everything goes around the center of town, that little plaza area,
Right.
then you're good to go. And there's a river.
Yes. 2 rivers.
Yes,
Yes.
I went to the Two Rivers meeting place today.
Yeah. Right.
It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous there.
That's the first Christmas tree
Yes.
Yes.
in the country.
In the country, yes.
love
I did
that.
not know all these
See?
things. Everywhere we're going, we're like, we didn't know this. We didn't know.
know.
that. Like,
Yeah.
we came to cover your B&B, but we've discovered not only this B&B's history, but so much history
Right.
here. I think you've got nature, you've got the arts, but I think the history here,
It really
it
is.
rolls deep.
It does. One of the first 3 places that the Declaration of Independence was read aloud to the public 3 days after, being signed in Philadelphia.
And you have the guy who also was part of writing part of the
Yeah, one of the signers is from here
we
too.
photographed his grave today.
Cool.
We
Yeah.
hung out in the Easton Cemetery. Okay, so
we
listen,
found
this
so many
cemetery.
famous people.
Yeah.
Right.
Thomas Coates.
Yeah.
You took a long time, Thomas, to find.
It took so much time to find his grave.
And
Yeah.
Thomas Coates is the father of American bandstand music.
I know his name from my dad playing the saxophone, and I used to turn the sheet music for him.
Oh my gosh.
So, because he would play, and I would just know. That's how I learned how to sight read. But always on the sheet music was Thomas Coates.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
like, I know that name. I know that
I know,
name.
and I'm like, I
And,
know.
and
Wow.
you've seen his grave.
I know. Isn't that weird?
It was weird today because there was history going back to Abraham Lincoln and with Mary Todd. I think there's a connection there. Mary Todd, Abraham Lincoln's wife's family is buried in there.
Oh my
His
gosh.
sister, his
I
wife's
didn't
sister.
realize that. Wow.
Yeah. No, that's amazing when
So
you go
we
through
we
there.
went to go say hi to her. But I feel weird. Some gentleman said, "Hey, can I help you?" As we're driving, he's like, "I noticed you driving real slowly." I'm like, "I don't know. Can we even drive?"
Yeah.
And in a cemetery, I feel very.
Sure,
You
yeah.
don't start running around the graves,
No,
but.
right.
You really can go around, and they have little historic markers on them. You get the book that you gave me. Thank you.
That really helps.
That really helped.
Good.
But we actually learned more about graveyard history in this graveyard than we have in and we've been to a lot of cemeteries.
Interesting.
A lot of people travel.
Oh, for
Just for
sure. And we get a
cemeteries.
lot of people coming here, doing their genealogy and going to the cemetery to look for really older graves in there. It's very interesting.
Now the lady, there's a lady buried in there that her father was the father of genealogy here, and now it's the Historical Society's building.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm
Yeah.
stuck in your cemetery.
Well, it's a large place, so
yeah,
it's
it
easy to get
Yeah.
lost
It's beautiful
inside.
too. It's just naturally beautiful. It's on the rolling hills, and the trees are fantastic.
And the
Is-
foliage just in the cemetery is nice.
It was
The
amazing.
colors,
I was photographing the burial site of the gentleman who wrote the alma mater for the Lafayette College, and he had a quote, and the leaves were just flowing, and I was like, I need to just video this, because it was like the leaves were flowing by, and squirrels were everywhere,
Right.
and birds, and
Right.
it was beautiful. Is it the courthouse that I saw from there, do you think? There's this beautiful building.
There's a steeple that's a church that I think might. Was it like a
It's kind of
tall
roundish,
steeple?
though, yeah.
Well, you can see the courthouse from there.
Okay,
so
because
maybe
there was
it
one
that.
corner, and the
Yeah.
courthouse is multiple. Because I got trolled around because when we went downtown today, they're getting ready for a big party.
Yes, we're having a winter village, and it's going to be quite the party. But in a socially distanced way. Yes,
COVID.
right.
So the center square, you told me this, like the center square, that changes out. Like so, they had the big piece, like a big
The
piece
Right, the
candle,
peace
right.
candle, which every year is a big deal. Right after Thanksgiving, they light the peace candle and turn it on. But it covers a beautiful statue that the rest of the year is what that circle is famous for.
And it's the bugler.
It's the bugler, yes.
So I'm gonna dig up that history now.
Yeah, so I don't know exactly. I mean, he's a Civil
He's all
War
over everywhere
bugler,
here.
right? So,
Would
yeah,
he be the person who played taps?
yes,
Who comes from Erie, Pennsylvania?
And at the base, at the base, it commemorates different people from around here who were in the
different
Civil
wars.
War.
We just did a segment on taps and how it was written, and it was George Deutsch. He is the executive director of the Hagen History Center. It's Erie, Pennsylvania history. I mean, you guys are so close in regards to the Industrial Revolution. You have Millionaires Row. You have
Right.
you guys have got rich stuff was going on here. I mean, even silk.
Yeah.
That's what we did today. We went to the
silk mill, too.
The silk mill, yeah.
That was a trip.
It is a trip.
They have a nature trail, go along the river. We saw all kinds of sculptures, and so that's got to bring people that understand. Is Carl
Sterner.
Carl
Sterner.
excuse me, yes, there is a Steiner in the graveyard. Don't ask me anybody's names anymore. I'm all into what's going on, but at the graveyard, really, there is a Steiner there. But his work
Yes.
is international.
Right. And he's kind of a grandfather of the art scene in Easton. He was one of the first people to move here and do his artwork here, and then start attracting lots of other artists to the area.
And so there's this whole trail that you can cycle, you can walk, take your dogs. Saw people
Right,
with
right.
dogs.
There's a
There's a
dog
dog
park
park.
in there. Yeah.
Yeah, dog park, and there's more and more going on. It seems like there's another sculpture going in.
Right.
So this goes all the way and goes near the cemetery as well,
Right.
all the way to where the Riverside Park area
Exactly,
where we were
yes.
in the downtown
Right, right.
district. So where we could see the I was going to say like it's not the original Christmas tree, but that's where the original
Yes.
Christmas tree was. But they
Right.
have a Christmas wreath sculpture
Right.
there.
Mm-hmm.
They have a veterans memorial there. They have playgrounds and all the bicycle art.
Yes.
Yes,
The bicycle art, like but these are bike racks that are art that you can use.
exactly.
Right. And they're throughout the city, and I don't know how many of them there are in total, but there's actually a map you can get that has them all on there.
And awesome murals too.
Yes, a lot of murals, lot of really interesting.
All
art
done by
on the
local
street.
artists.
So this is an
Love that.
artist. So artists live here,
Absolutely.
hang out, study here too.
Yes.
Okay, so the college is because they've got an art side of it too.
They do.
And then we saw big crayons.
Yes.
I think this is the beginning of the art.
You have to start early, right? With crayons.
Yes,
That's
my inner
right.
child went happy, happy, joy, joy.
Yes, the Crayola experience. It's good
So
stuff.
that's downtown.
Yeah, and Crayola, the company Crayola is headquartered here, and so they opened their first hands-on experience downtown in Easton
Amazing.
20 years ago, probably now.
It was in 90. I think I read on a sign 98 or 96, something in the late 90s. They had their billionth crayon or something. I was like, what?
That's
Think
crazy.
about it, you know? But I wonder now these days what it's like, what Crayola, like what they're going through with kids being so much more online. I'm hoping crayons are still
you still have to have
the tactical,
the paper and the crayons and physically color in a picture. Doing it online with your finger or something, it's
just
not the same.
Not the same.
Not the same at all.
You need to feel the paper. The paper has a texture. They can tell you online that you can make a paper that's texturized online, but you can't touch it. You can't feel it.
Right.
And you can't control it as well as you can.
Or smell the crayon.
Oh, see, I see.
Because there's a nice smell to it.
It is, right?
But the crayons, it used to be like, for me as a kid, you wanted all the different colors.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was almost like it went according to food and nature, what you wanted.
And that big Crayola set, the really big one with the 3 levels.
I had it.
Yeah. Now I've made it.
Sharpener in the back.
That's right. See? You can't do
They still
that.
have it.
Yeah.
They
see?
still sell them.
That is way more fun than online.
Look how many adults got into crayons, doing coloring in page and getting their crayons. There's adult packages, and I think everyone should still do. I wonder how many people did that during the beginning of COVID in the show.
Probably
steal their kids' crayons.
It all started here, people. It all started here, but
That's right.
What an inspiration for a coloring book.
I know. Yeah, I keep thinking. I used to do coloring books a long time ago in South Africa for
Used to create them.
fundraisers. And I'm looking at them like, we could do a
I
coloring book.
know. We're like, we should do that again. It kind of hit us today. We're like, maybe we'll go back to that a little bit here and there.
I'm tempted.
I know.
It's
very cool. So you've got Crayola, you've got all this history, but it really does go back to Native American land here.
It
And
does,
so I was reading, and you gave me all this amazing literature. You're like your own visitor bureau here. I'm just going to say, this goes back to one of the places where some of the more treaties were signed here with the Native Americans.
Right. William Penn did a treaty with American Indians here. The walking purchase was around here. I forget what all the tribal names are. The Lenape were here. And there, in the beginning, it was a more friendly relationship. Of course, over time, they got pushed out a little bit. But
Yeah. But now going to the B&B. Who built this building, this beautiful building?
Okay, so it's an interesting story because it isn't what you would think. That there's a family by the name of Wagner. We're not really sure where their money came from, but they owned all of this land up here. And he divided it up and gave a little bit of land to each of his children, and his daughter got this plot, and she built this home as a rental property. Right?
This really started as a rental.
Yes. So it was an
this is in
investment
the
property for her in 1895.
Thinking that way.
Yeah,
you
right.
go, girl.
Right, exactly. So, but the gentleman who she rented it to was the president of Ingersoll Rand, which is a big industrial company just over the bridge in New Jersey. And he ended up, in the end, buying it from her some years later. So it has both Industrial Revolution guy, who lived here, but it also has this interesting history of it was a daughter who built it as an investment property.
I love that.
Yeah, it's very cool.
That's cool. So then what happens?
So then a few different people owned it.
And was it 18 rooms to begin with?
No.
It'd be bigger.
No, it was a lot larger rooms. It was a very different layout, although the footprint is basically the same.
Footprint is the same, but this where we're sitting here now, this probably would have been the waiting room because the main entry was right there, and so as guests were to arrive and wait for the man of the house or the woman of the house, they'd be sitting in here and waiting for them to come down from their rooms.
Yeah, because even your driveways, that circular driveways, that's for the carriages and the buggies to go around, right? That old circular. And by the way, there's off-street parking for free. Just gotta say, that's important when you travel.
It is
There's
important.
little things that add up. I'm
And
just
an
gonna
electric
say.
vehicle charging station.
I saw that. Now,
Yeah,
that makes
that's
sense,
very
right?
cool.
That's one of the first things I saw. I thought that was one of the cool things,
Welcome to our new century here.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
From the Industrial Revolution
Right,
to
right.
here's the electric power,
The horse
solar.
carriage to the electric cars.
Do you think
Isn't
you guys
that
would
cool?
ever be solar powered if you did that? Like,
Oh, I don't know. It's tough.
it's hard. Yeah, it's hard.
It's
like
tough. We don't
because
have a
you're in
lot of
different-
room, and I'm not sure that the roof is ready for solar
Solar power,
panels.
yeah.
But we've talked about it a lot, and it's popular around here.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering.
It
if
It's
that's-
how to
yes.
do it and still keep what you have.
Exactly.
The look and the feel
Right.
of
Right.
everything.
Right. So back to our
Yeah.
building. So it was owned by many people, and then the Depression hit, and whoever owned it at that time had let it go. Kind of, it was sold at a sheriff's sale.
Whoa.
Yeah. Then it became an apartment building. Then a fraternity for Lafayette College. That was from like the 50s until the very early 80s. And unfortunately, they did not keep it up very well. It was a bit of a mess.
A little party spot? I
yes,
think it's a
little
lot of
party
It's
house.
the liberal arts
Yeah.
college around the corner.
Right. Come on.
So then it
Well,
sat
back
empty.
then they all partied, so.
Yeah, exactly.
And it sat empty for several years and nearly got torn down. But fortunately, a group of people bought it thinking we would make a great inn. And they did a lot of work, had it, basically down to the studs and new roof and all that. And at that point, reconfigured it to be the 18 rooms with a bathroom, obviously, in every room. So that was a big project. And it opened in 1986 as an inn.
Wow. So that's some long history.
Yeah.
Really, when you think about it. So you guys, when you found it, it's like, okay, it's already running.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Did you have to do a lot of work to or change
Not
it
a
up
lot of
anything?
work, no. Just basic. Every year we have our little project list, and we reconfigure and
Well,
update
Update
things
and bring bathrooms
Yeah.
up to, today's standards.
Look at all the
and,
electrical stuff,
Yeah.
you guys, you electricians, that's cool. But
flat
this,
screen TVs
Yeah.
and internet and
Right.
but your internet
Charging
is
stations
awesome.
on the
Everything is like I just think it's one of those. You've got this amazing balance that's very hard to do. It's hard to keep history and embrace what's happening now.
Right.
There, and you have it.
It is hard, and we go places and see things, and I think, oh, I want to do that, but then we come home and talk about it, and like, oh, that doesn't fit here. So we really do pay a lot of attention to trying to keep it, true to this 1895 Georgian mansion.
But it's also super comfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, the beds are, I think Nancy and I got here, we had a little bite to eat, had our wine, and I'm like, dude, that's it. I'm out. Bye. Bye. I'm out. Because it's like, I think that's something important, that it's that comfortable and quiet.
Sure,
It's a quiet area.
It is quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you're
But
so
you're
close
right
to
in the heart of the
everything.
town.
Yeah.
I mean, we went walking around the college campus yesterday when we got here last night. It was at night, but it was just, the buildings and the statues. It's
a really
grand.
pretty campus.
It is.
I love campuses, and I love college towns because there's this
Yes.
energy and innovation,
Right.
creativity. There's always something. It's like you're not allowed to be stagnant in a college town,
Right.
That's very true.
even during COVID, right?
Right.
Right.
You're gonna have to change things up.
Yes.
And you've done that. You've kept us all very safe and clean, and
Thank you.
we're all walking around masked and separate.
Yes. Right.
So that's it. It's you guys have done a good job on that for
Thank
sure. Your breakfast area is beautiful.
Thank you. The sunroom. we call
Yes,
it.
I love it
Yes.
in there.
Windows on 3 sides, and it's always, even on a gray day, it's cheerful in there.
So when it's snowy, can people drive around?
Sure.
Okay, so snowy. Yeah, I wanted to touch on this because people travel, all the time.
Right. We're used to snow here, so we have the roads get cleaned right away. It's never a problem.
We've been like babies about this, and now we're starting to learn and grow up. Okay,
Yeah.
and we're like, people live in these places where it snows, so things have to work.
Yeah,
you
right.
know. But what's it like for season? What's spring like?
Well, spring is fabulous. We have a lot of flowers on our own property. The campus is gorgeous in the spring. A lot of flowering trees, a lot of
nice.
Fields of daffodils and
Wow.
crocuses, and it's fabulous.
I want to come here in spring.
Yeah,
And then summer
it's really
warm.
nice. Summer is very warm. It gets a little bit humid for part of the summer, but not not like in the south.
Not terrible. No.
Well, you've got the rivers and you've got
Yeah.
all the shaded areas and the
Right.
parks and everything.
Kayaking and hiking and all kinds of great things to do in the summer. And fall is spectacular because we have so many beautiful trees that every color.
Oh, we just missed that part of it.
Yeah,
We did.
the
But
But
cemetery.
we could see what it was.
especially.
We could see in the cemetery,
Yeah.
like some of it was like, no, I'm hanging on.
Yeah, and along the rivers, the foliage is really, really pretty.
You've got a lot of history here. There was a museum we didn't get into today, but
Right.
you have a lot. You were saying the food scene is amazing. It looks like the shopping seems so like I got excited because right in the center. You have a vinyl record store.
That's so
Sorry,
cool.
but and then a bookstore right there, and I'm like,
Right.
okay, I must come back because
It's
that's,
very San Francisco-like.
we felt
in a
like
lot
that.
Of ways.
Listen,
Right.
some of
In a
those
lot of
streets I'm
ways.
going up, I'm
without
like,
all the
uh-oh.
extra traffic and
Right.
Yeah,
crowds.
yeah, it's laid
Yeah,
back, and then
it's-
you've got
yeah.
those streets where suddenly there's a house in the middle of the street.
I know.
What do you?
It's like, and then the streets go
how
like
they just
Yeah.
kind of part.
It's
What
like,
is that?
What
You
is
know?
that?
Is Italy
so
like
funny.
that in a way?
Sometimes,
depending on where
hillier
you're
cities
hilly.
tend to do that. You got to put the house where you can and make the
That's
road
wild.
turn.
That's wild. Now you're from Ohio, so
I am.
it's a little bit more open.
Yeah, it's a little flatter, a little more open, a little more snow.
Okay, well now you're
So-
warmed up here.
So this is easy from a snow
Oh, there you go.
standpoint. Yeah.
There you go. But it's beautiful. I do want to touch back to Easton's history even further because Glenn Burrows, our friend over in England, our English historian, he's
Yeah.
like doing a whole thing about Easton, England. It's in his Norfolk, East Anglia area, and we're in East, so the Easton area. And so we've been to Easton, Maryland, and now we're in Easton, Pennsylvania. And I did almost get myself twirled around. Honestly, driving, don't even. It's like, oh,
was
oopsie. I mean, we did end up in New Jersey today. We just
Yeah,
suddenly
it's right
crossed
across
the
the
bridge.
bridge,
I went,
yeah.
what? And then I'm seeing signs for New York. I'm like, no, heck no, I'm not ready for that.
I don't want to cross that.
No, I don't want to do that.
It would not surprise me if I landed us right in the middle of Times Square or something and going, what? But anyway, going back to Easton, so the history here really does go back to England, to his neighborhood.
Yeah, it really does. So Thomas Penn, the son of William Penn, was instrumental in getting this part of the country set up, and his wife was from Easton. Her homestead was called Easton in Northamptonshire. So they named this area Northampton County and the town of Easton.
And you have
so cool.
you have Nottingham Street,
With,
Yes, Nottingham, like the sheriff of Nottingham.
Cottingham.
and you have
Cottingham City.
Cottingham.
and North Hampshire Street?
Northampton
Northampton
County
Northampton,
is
yeah.
after Northamptonshire, and
It's like being back in England.
it is.
It is.
It's wild.
Robin Hood.
It's wild. So what is the website for everyone to keep up with you?
So we are at Lafayette-Inn.com.
And Lafayette, by the way, you'd think that you're not in here. You're not in Easton-Pennsylvania, but you are.
We are.
You think you're like in the South when you hear it, but
Right.
so Lafayette-Inn.com. And social media for people to keep up with
Yeah,
you?
so Facebook is Lafayette Inn, and on Instagram we're the Lafayette Inn.
Okay.
Cool.
And I know that you have a lot of business travelers that come here,
We do.
but also people coming here for vacations. Do you do any kind of special packages during the year, things that people should know about?
We do. We have a date night package. As I mentioned, the restaurant scene here is amazing, so we partner with local restaurants. And the package also includes flowers and wine from local businesses, so you
Nice.
can put together a little package that supports 4 local businesses and have a great date night. There's a wine trail, the Lehigh-Valley Wine Trail, which is
Nancy, we gotta come back.
back.
Oh my God! I saw one winery on our way. It wasn't even close here yet, but I'm like, dude.
right. So we do a package that includes a bottle of local wine and a cheese plate that you can enjoy in your room, or you can take out on your picnic to the wineries. Craft beer is big around.
Oh, we saw a lot of
Yeah.
taverns.
So-
It's not a pub, it's taverns. You've got the taverns.
Right.
Yeah.
So we do packages along those lines. The farmers market here.
Yeah. Oh.
huge.
Tell her
Yeah.
this is the
Yeah.
oldest open air farmers market in the country.
oldest
Correct.
continuously operating open air farmers market in the country.
Awesome.
You got to keep that. That's so special.
It is special, and it's fabulous. And so I'm there every Saturday morning that it's open.
I'm
and,
jealous. I
yeah,
so want to go. So like this. So when you look at what is grown out here,
yeah.
tell us a
Well,
little bit
right.
on that.
Pennsylvania is definitely enormous. Agricultural, and some of the farms are also in New Jersey, the Garden State.
Yeah.
So, just every vegetable you can think of, and also apples and peaches are big around here. Blueberries.
Nice.
Like you were saying, you could put that in your scones.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh. All right. So everyone, you got to come out here. So Lafayette-Inn.com. Thank you for having us. It has been a
so
pleasure.
much fun.
It's just been too short because there's obviously so much to do
Right,
here. And
exactly.
we really want to go play in the Crayola place. We need
Next
to go
time.
scribble.
Next time.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.